two people of the opposite sex who constitute what's known as couple in a marriage relationship. Fikr. Fikr. In Islamic law, there is something we call fikr. Fikr is orientation, mentality. If my brother's thought system is different from my own, we can't work together. And if we work together, the Jawad does not last. And you see that this particular Jawad has remained consistent for a long time, for some decades. Not any organization enjoy that blessing. And this is basically on account of two things, which I've had reason to discuss with some members of the leadership of this organization. Be organized and fikr. So if the wife and the husband, they don't share the same fikr, the marriage cannot last. If the organization, all the training we have, the training, the program we have, it is purely made, it is organized to establish and sustain our tawhid al-fikr. I mean, unity of thought, unity of orientation, so that my brother will be in Lagos, my brother will be in Kaduna, my brother will be in Kogi, and this brother will be in the UK, and we think the same way. Let me illustrate with an event. The day when the Mujahid scholar, Sayyid Qutb, was put to trial in Egypt, there was an interesting question asked by the tribunal, which today normally excites me. The tribunal chair asked the entire master that, what is your relationship with Abu al-Maududi? Abu al-Maududi was in the Pakistani region. Senate responded that we do not have any relationship. Said, how many times have you met to discuss Islam? He said, I have never seen him in my life. He said, then why is it that your book, Ma'alim Victory, we found a lot of his thoughts in it? Have you read any of his books? He said, I heard that he writes, but I've never read any. Then the tribunal said, you think the same way, you talk the same way, you write the same way. That is the power of faith. And I don't know if you have ever seen a husband and his wife. When you meet a husband, you raise a discussion about any issue. It may be politics, it may be education, it may be entertainment, it may be on culture. The same way the husband talks, his viewpoint, his thought system, and mentality is the same thing that is mirrored in the thinking of the wife. When you see the wife and ask the same thing, it's the same way that she thinks. That is speaking. Have you ever seen a situation whereby you want to say something, and before you say it, your wife says it? That is the power of faith. Brothers, especially for those of us who are committed to this kind of work, Ahmadu Islam, Dawah, you need a wife who will share your orientation mentality. Not just a wife who is going to wear a uniform. What's the uniform? She wears the same clothes like our sisters. You marry a sister wherever, and you insist that she must belong to our women wing. And she had started attending the program, and she started wearing the same clothes. Yes, you've been able to repackage her. You have been able to change the color of our body, but what about our thought system? Three things will happen. Whatever your mission, that particular way will eventually frustrate it. Number two, when Islamic war becomes physically challenged, because there are times when that war becomes challenged, if you have read stories of contemporary activists, that particular woman is the one that will sell you out. Because she does not share the same orientation with you. So the first thing, when you are talking about the value in a marriage relationship, marriage is initiated and sustained by two people of the opposite sex. These two people of the opposite sex must have the same thing. The same thought system, and this brings us to the question of mission. Every human being, not just a Muslim, must have a mission in this world. When they ask you, what is your mission? When you are running a business, you said you write mission and vision of our company. What about your life? What is the mission? Most of us have vision, but we don't have vision. And to understand the importance of mission, you will see our organizations. When you see their bosses, the one that runs school, they will say education. The one entertainment, they will say entertainment. The one that runs our organization, they will say missionary. Is that also? That means that whatever you do, you must have a mission. Quran says, أَفَحَسِبْتُمْ أَنَّمَا خَلَقْنَاكُمْ عَبَثًا وَأَنَّكُمْ إِلَيْنَا لَا تُرْجَعُونَ. أَفَحَسِبْتُمْ, do you think أَنَّمَا خَلَقْنَاكُمْ عَبَثًا, that we have created you to come into this world for fun, just to watch Hollywood, just to watch European Champions Leagues, just to analyze ABCD's contest, just to watch film, gossip, make money, do business. Do you think that we have created you for fun? Don't you know that you will come back to us to give account of your mission on earth? You must have a reason why you are here. If you do not have any reason of why you are here, you will live Ma'anishat Doctor, a restless, reckless life, because your life is not defined. And that's what the Quran says, that those who are living Ma'anishat Doctor, نحشرهم يوم القيامة أعمى قال ربي لما أشرتني أعمى وقد كنت بصيرا. The person will be resurrected on the day of Qiyamah as a blind person. Then he will lament, oh my Lord, why did you resurrect me today as a blind person? Allah will say, when you were alive, Atatika Ayat, my message reached you, Pharmacy Taha, but you forgot because we don't have the mission. What is my message? Atatika Ayat, that is the mission. The mission of the Muslim. Pharmacy Taha, and you forgot it. But today, you will forget it. That's a good thing. So what's our mission? Our mission will define our personality. Everybody has what he has come to do in this world. I want to believe that the majority of my listeners are Yorubas. You know there are footballers. you know Mikel Obi, you know Taye Taiwo, you know Okocha, you know Kanu. All of these people, since when we were young, they frequented football pitches where they practice. And they were mobilized for national teams, or perhaps they were opportune to be taken out from international. Then, the better part of their life, they spent it on it so much that even if some of them retire, if they do not become coach, you still making some sponsoring of games. Some of them will become. I was asking someone that what is the coach doing now after retirement? They said he's a football journalist. That is their mission. Sheikh Modibabi, even as a grandfather, still continued to remain a football enthusiast. And we see someone spending about 70 years, 80 years on that, and the entire life will be devoted to pursuing the game. If we talk about that, what about those who started early in life as musicians? They will never leave that industry. And happy will they retire. Even if at old age they retire, you will see, can you imagine for how much Saudi Arabia have been singing? And even when Obe retired, once in a while, he's invited to grace some of the musical, because that's what he has devoted his whole life to. And some people, academics, it's about books and nothing but books. There are people like that nothing but books. He's a researcher. I have a younger brother who is a professor. He's very popular, he's well known, he's a scholar. He taught at the University of Lagos, he taught at Lagos State University, he taught at Sokoto, he's now outside the country. One day, after many years, when I finished my first degree, he has started lecturing at the University of Lagos. We were together at the university, but he was ahead of me. So as soon as I finished, with my grade on top of the class, he was so eager to put me in the academic line that I should be teaching. But I insisted. I was not interested. So now, he had been lecturing, he had become a professor, now at the family outing. He's the only blood brother I have. In the family, my mother gave back to me and him in a polygamous school. Now, we were now talking at the family outing. I now said, I said, what have you enjoyed as a lecturer? That because he believes in academics. I said, what have you enjoyed? He said, I enjoy research. I said, but you don't have money. You know any professor is rich? If you believe any professor is rich, it's because you are poor. I'm sorry. I know that we are. I know that we are TMC program where almost everybody has to be professors. One day in the casual discussion with my ustad, we were discussing Ustad Ekula, and that was, I think, in Medina. Then he told me that the number of PhD Jama had produced, the number of professors, I don't doubt it. But I'm talking about money now. Money. That's what I'm talking about. You get it now. And I know some of our colleagues with whom we were in the university together, we were in class together, we could still them in different universities. They are in charge, the other place they are also. So what I'm saying is that, alhamdulillah, I don't have a mission. mission of righteousness. But there are people whose mission is research and academic pursuits. We've talked about game footballers, we've talked about entertainers, musicians, we've talked about academics. You too, as Muslims, you must have a mission. Wallahi, what's our mission? Our mission is Tabligh al-Mujtama. And that was the mission of all the messengers of Allah. The messengers of Allah in each generation that Allah brought Ibrahim, He brought Yaqub, Allah brought Ishaq ahead, and He brought Yusuf. Some of these prophets and messengers, some of them were sent to their community, some to their families, some to only the people who spoke their language. But one thing is very clear. All the messengers and the prophets became a mission. They did not just come into this world. So you must have a mission. So for that reason, your selection of mates must be based, strictly and strongly based on the mission you aim to pursue. So the person you want to marry must share your orientation and mentality. And not just choosing someone who shares your orientation, but you must equally sustain the orientation in the person. Who is going to sustain the orientation? Is the husband. If you are the one whose wife teaches, are you with me? Is your wife who attends program frequently? They say, you know, I don't normally, actually I really want to go because of this mukata, I'm always busy. And it's your wife who normally goes. And when I wish, there are three types of people. Brothers. Number one is those at this one. That is their wife that knows so much about it. And it's their wife that will teach them. Number two are those people that their wife will always argue with them. You understand? When they argue, no, this is how we see, no, on the issue of religious matter. That's it, we discuss it first. We'll go and ask that. In the first two, you are a failure as a man. A brother came to me and told me that his wife committed sin. And it became so bad, and it became so messy and controversial.